I am so happy that you're able to join us for this extended interview. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get more killer resources. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us for this extended interview with Anthony, where he is going to share how to be a freelancer and how to do freelancing in developing countries. Hey Anthony, how are you?
Hey Debbie, how you doing?
I'm great. So can you tell us a little bit more about you and why you live an offbeat life?
Okay, yeah, well, you know, it's a situation where you want to know more of the world. You wanna do what you love. So that's my offbeat life, basically. I want to do what I love. I want to do my passion and not only what I studied for.
Absolutely. And make sure you listen to the full interview with Anthony because he's going to share more of his amazing story, how he came from being a chemist to now a freelancer and traveling the world. So, Anthony, you have a lot of tips about living abroad. And one of the things that you are really keen on sharing with us is how to do freelancing in developing countries. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay. The thing about developing countries is that when you freelance and you don't make that much money, you can still make a living out of it. And that's the best part about freelancing in developing countries. People there are really grateful for finding jobs. Sometimes it can be harder than finding them in first world countries. So that's the start. I mean, if you can find a job in a developing country, you can do really well for yourself.
How do you actually find the jobs when you are set in that place?
Well, to begin with, it will be harder. I don't want to hide that fact. It's going to be harder. Most clients will look for people from the US, from Europe, but you have to make it work. I mean, you have to have a good profile. Make sure that people are seeing that you're worth it, that you can give them value. So you have to have confidence in yourself. You have to show that you know what you're doing, that you can provide value. That's just the start. I mean, there's a lot more.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, isn't it also a plus for you? Because even though you live in a developing country, you're probably going to be asking for less money, even though you may have the same education or similar education than somebody who is living in Europe or in the United States. But because your cost of living is so low in a developing country, you'll be asking for less. So it's actually a win-win for them.
Yeah, Debbie, that's true. Actually, I had a discussion with somebody over this the other day. It made me a bit angry because they told me that they paid $2 to $3 per hour to their virtual assistant, and I told them, hey, come on, there's one thing between hiring somebody in a country with a low cost of living and, I mean, exploiting them. Come on. So yeah, sometimes you have to disagree and find ways to increase your salary.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that there is a lot of exploitation in that sense because also a lot of the people in the developing countries, they really need the money and will often take those jobs because it's money in their pocket to feed their family and to actually make a living. So $2 or $3 is nothing for us, you know? It's really nothing, and all the work that they're doing for you is so crucial for your business. So I'm sure you can afford more than $2 to $3.
Yeah, definitely. And this discussion was taking place in the same place, in the same thread where people were talking about making seven figures per year. So it's a contradiction to say that you make seven figures and pay $2 per hour to your employees. But it's about having confidence. I mean, somebody in a developing country can charge you up to 100 and something per hour, 120 per hour. They just need to show that they deserve that, just like anybody.
Absolutely. It's really placing that worth for yourself, whether you live in a developing country or you're living in the United States or in Europe. You know, it's all about how you place yourself in that situation. And if you don't take it, then no one will take advantage of you for sure.
Definitely. And one of the things that I'm starting to prepare, I'm preparing a project about this. I want to help people in developing countries who are freelancers or who want to be freelancers. My intention is for them to find their value. I mean, it helps, yes, for sure. Like you said, Debbie, It helps that they can charge less because of their cost of living. It's lower. So they can charge less and clients will go for them. But sometimes you need to help them find those jobs because finding the jobs is kind of tough when you're from Venezuela, for example, where I live, and you're going up against a guy from the US. Even if you have the same amount of knowledge or experience, I mean, sometimes it's not enough. It's not enough because they'll still see that the guy is located in the US and yeah, judgments.
We definitely do a lot of that. And if you're educated in marketing yourself in that sense, you'll definitely get the work. But again, it's so good that you're able to do this and you're able to help them understand and also how to place themselves in a lifestyle that will be a lot better than what they have in their home.
Yeah, I mean, traditional work here in South America, you can be a master, a PhD, and sometimes you'll be earning less than I don't know, a fast food worker in the first world countries. So you have to look for work online. It's becoming more of a necessity than something you can do because you want to, because otherwise you just can't make enough to have a decent life. And that's what I want to teach people because I see my friends, many of my friends who graduated with me from a chemical engineer, they're working right now at stores, working behind a till as a cashier. So I want to help them out. I want to help them, want to teach them that there's another way to make money and it's online.
Yeah, it's such a great way to do that, especially when you can't find a job where you usually are. It's just, again, it's about freedom. You get so much freedom when you are doing this type of lifestyle. And I'm so glad that more people are learning about it and tapping into it and really taking advantage of what it can give you.
Yeah. The way the freelancing environment has grown in the last few years, wow, it's incredible. I mean, I used to know there's plenty of people that I knew a few years ago, and I contact them again and I ask them, "What are you doing with your life?" And they tell me, "Yeah, I'm a social media manager." Other people tell me, "Yeah, I'm a translator. I'm a virtual assistant." And it surprises me because the freelancing world is becoming global. It's becoming a true global phenomenon, and I love that. Makes me happy.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And I'm always so happy when I meet more people who are in this type of industry. And you can see how much happier everyone is. And you really have a lot more freedom with your life, with what you want to do with it.
Definitely, Debbie. Definitely. For example, I mean, people of all ages, that's a good beginning. People of all ages can do freelancing. For example, a 50-year-old, a 60-year-old, nobody's hiring them anymore. So when they realize that they can continue making money online, or a 17-year-old, for example, they realize how good freelancing can be. It's accessible for everybody. I've also talked about people with disabilities who find a solution to their problems with freelancing and making money online.
Yeah, there's just so many possibilities that goes into it. And I'm so happy that you are able to tap into this and a lot of people have as well. Well, thank you so much, Anthony, for joining us for this extended interview. If our listeners want to know more about you, where can they find you?
Well, yeah, you can start off by writing to my Instagram, which is at Begin Wandering. Our website is beginwandering.com. And if you're interested in chatting with me personally, I have a LinkedIn, Anthony Muhye. So, yeah, I hope to see you there. And thank you for inviting me, Debbie.
Thanks so much, Anthony. And again, thank you for giving us all of these awesome tips. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Your show is amazing.
I hope you enjoyed this extended interview with Anthony. Make sure to visit theoffbeatlife.com. Again, that's theoffbeatlife.com to get the full interview where he shares his incredible journey. Thanks for joining me on this extended interview. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. We can also chat some more on Facebook at The OB Live. I'll talk to you soon.